What's up? Just for JP in the house. So anyway, I want to talk about dating. Of course, I'm going to ramble on about other things I always do. But the thing I want to talk about is talking to women who you or society may deem as unattractive. Okay, we have this thing in the States or Western countries that if a woman is unattractive, then you can go and talk to her, especially if you're an attractive guy, and she'll do whatever you want, or she'll be with you because, you know, she should be happy that someone is interested in her because she doesn't look good and stuff like that. And a lot of people do work on that. You know, you see a lot of guys out here who well, not out here, but yeah, here or whatever. Well, no, you don't see it out here like that. But like guys in the States might be with a woman, and he might be looking all right, but she doesn't look so good. No, you do see it out here. You know, you do see it out here. You know, yeah, you see that out here. You see a handsome guy with a nicer looking girl, or a nice looking girl with a nicer looking guy. You know, especially like even the Japanese marriages, it's like that. You see these guys, they're like, you know, and from the 0 to 10, they would be between an 8 and a 10, looking like models and stuff. But their wives or their girlfriends just, you know, would look like, you know, 5 and less. And you would think like, well, why? How is this going on? You know, and stuff. You know, and sometimes I do see that, and I do actually ask, how did you two meet? You know, and they might say they've been friends or at those me's or something like that, where you got these single what they call these single individuals, and they all meet up and just to get married, you know, have someone else, and the guy, you know, he'll just fall in love with the women. Because actually a lot of the women out here or around the world, you know, whether they look good or not, you know, just depends on, you know, the person. But the average person, you know, the normal person just looks average. You know, I mean, I'm just an average looking person, you know, and it's just what makes a person stand out might be their clothes or something, you know, that other people might like. But at the same time, I mean, not at the same time, but, you know, that's just an opinion. But when you're out in the streets, in the States or whatever, wherever you're at, and you're trying to get a woman, don't use anything that's negative to try to pick up something that's to help you get something. In other words, what I'm saying, like, if you see two women, one is an 8 and one is a 3, well, don't turn down the 8 because you think she's too pretty, and go for the 3 because you think she's not pretty, and she'll take you because she's not pretty. It doesn't work like that. I'm telling you. You know, at first there'll be this interest. You know, you got a lot of women who do know they judge themselves. You know, just like guys judge themselves, and they'll put themselves in this low category. And then when someone else in a higher category comes along, and I mean, low category is like, you know, from 0 to 10, and then from 1 to 10, then like if the girl is like a 4 or 5 and somebody's a 7 or an 8 comes along, then she's gonna think this, you know, because the women, they understand this also. So she's gonna think, well, why he's been with me? You know, he can get someone better. You know, oh, he just been with me because I'm not attractive or something like that. And that's always going to be in their minds, you know, and it's always going to be in the minds of guys too. Some guys, you know, that don't look good, especially here in Japan. You see these guys from the, you know, these Western countries with these beautiful women out here, and it's like, how is it that this guy, she got him? You know, so I'm thinking the same philosophy probably is all around the world. You know, she got him because she probably can't get a regular Japanese guy for other reasons that I'm not going to get into, and so she's with him, you know, because he's, you know, when she look at him, she knows darn well that he's not attractive, and he probably don't have any girlfriends or anything, or he can't get any in this country, and so she snatches him up, you know, because of his vulnerability, you know, and I mean, it's a trip, you know. You see these guys, you know, like, oh my God. women out here, they see it and they know it. I mean, brothers too don't look all that good. These beautiful Japanese women, like, oh my God, how did he get her? You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is, And people think something negative. They'll use this negative with this negative philosophies or whatever it is, and get them a partner. But they never, most relationships never really work out, because the woman, she's, a lot of the women, I wouldn't say a lot of them, but there's quite a few who are, no matter who they with, they're, how can you say, the way they think about themselves is always going to rule, their actions, what they're going to say or whatever, and you don't want, you definitely don't want that to be in your relationship and stuff like that. Okay, my words are slipping. My thoughts are slipping. And then also the opposite, you get a beautiful woman and these guys abuse them. These women with these Japanese women out here, with these guys that are like, not ugly at all, and she abused them. Like one time I went to a Mr. Donuts out in Osaka, and it was this white guy and his wife, and had a kid. He looked like he was like about a 7, 6, definitely not less than a 6. Could have been a 7, and he definitely his looks would have not turned any heads away from him. It wouldn't have done it. But his wife was like, oh my God, it was like, wow, dude, it was, I don't want to get all judgmental and stuff, but definitely she was not at the same level as far as he was, so she was definitely on the lower, on the beauty scale lower than him by maybe 3 points at least, and 3 levels at least. And it was really interesting, because whether he went after her because of her looks, or she just went after him because of any weaknesses or whatever, the whole fact was, when we started talking and I saw her, it was like, the first thing he did, he knew he could have had a more attractive wife. Okay, he knew it. And as soon as I said, how you doing, we talking and stuff, and then I said, oh, he said, oh, this is my kid. I said, oh, okay, and his wife, and I looked at her and said, hi. As soon as I looked at her, she looked at me, she smiled and everything, and he looked at me, and he just put that look on his face like, yeah, I messed up or something like that. And it's not the point, and this is what I want to say, I'll get to that later, but it's not the point whether he messed up or not. The fact is how they got together. And they got together based on, how can you say this, these advantages and disadvantages. So maybe she was feeling like, he came to her, or maybe she started talking to him, and then she pretty much, catered to his needs. More than likely it could have been physical, and one thing led to another, and because how it is, I don't even want to get off on that, but one thing led to another, and then he probably got psychologically trapped up in something until until his trapment became his son. And I'm not saying entrapment, but you know what I'm saying. It was a responsibility that connected them even more, and how can I say, what am I trying to say? Sorry about that. The responsibilities or their actions that happened, he became more, what's the word for it? He became more involved, sank into the quicksand or whatever, where he couldn't get out. And so me and him, we kind of talked about it, and it was pretty much like, why you with her? And he said, well, blah, 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 starting excuse, it was just maybe one of his students or some girl, or something, I forgot exactly. But the point was it was like, she was there, and she made herself available to not appease, but to make him happy, whatever he wanted. And it just went a little too far, you know what I'm saying? No protection, then he got pregnant. She got pregnant, and then they got married, and then she started controlling him, and that was it, so he was pretty much, it was done for him. The only thing that left was to wait till the kid gets 18 and he bounce, or they end up getting divorced, or he go back home and leave her or whatever. But I can tell that she totally dominated him, and a lot of guys get into that. And even in the States, it's the same thing. And so that brings me to the point of my video, is that you don't use those psychological things to get a woman, because actually they're entrapments. Why would you want to be with a woman who you think is unattractive? That's like, moving next to your neighbor who you hate. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do stuff like that. Why would you see a woman who is beautiful, and then who you deem is beautiful, and then you tear her down? That's like not wanting to cash a check that someone gave you for $1 million. You just go burn it. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. You just don't do that. So when you're going out and you're trying to date, don't think about, how can we do that? Make all these mental and psychological moves and schemes and tactics and, what's that other one? I forgot the other one. Strategies and stuff like that. You don't really need them. You really don't. Because once a girl, we always know, once a woman see you, she already gonna know whether she wanna, get involved with you physically or not. She already knows that. Okay, and so they already know that. So you don't really have to say too much. You really don't. You really don't. You just walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Because it's like some of these gold digger videos. Whether they real or not, I don't know, but the whole point about it is it's like that. You'll walk up to a woman, she doesn't know anything about you, and you start saying, "Hey, what's your name, blah blah blah." And if you walk up on her and she didn't get a chance to see you first or notice you before you walk up on her, then of course the natural impulse is to, hey, put that hand out there and go, yo, wait, and that's the natural impulse, and then so you gotta break that wall down. That's, you gotta break that extra barrier down, so that's why I would say, when you're walking down the street and if a woman is looking at you, then it's okay for you to say hi, because she made that first she made that first active communication. What is that? She communicated with you first, and so then you're able to go talk to her. Like me and my friend, we were in Umeda, and there's this one Japanese lady, and she was real tall, really beautiful, almost as tall as I was, nice slender body, not skinny but muscular, but real nice. And so we're walking, and she's walking, towards us, and she's staring. So I stopped and started talking to her, and our conversation went nowhere real quick. And then she said, "Why did you stop and talk to me?" And I'm looking at her like, "What?" And I was like, "Because you were staring at me." So I just being nice, my culture, and just saying hi. And then we got in the conversation, that was it. She's like, "Oh, okay." So we traded numbers and stuff. I called her once, but she was like too busy, because she had to take some tests or something that she kind of failed the first time, so she had to really study and stuff, I guess. But anyway, and that was it, and but it was cool, because I did call and she did answer, and we already knew right then nothing was going to happen. Nothing was going to that was it, that would be, our conversation was real nice until we came to the end where it was nothing to say. And instead of just saying, "Well, I gotta go, have a nice day, it was fun talking to you," instead of doing that, she was like, "Why are you talking to me?" And I'll tell you the truth, Because it could have been, it was really interesting because me and my friend talked about it, and I've always been thinking about it. But what it could have been was, she was beautiful, and I know she knows she was beautiful, okay? But maybe she didn't have a boyfriend, and that was probably because she couldn't find the one that she thought she deserved based on her beauty. So when I spoke to her, and we were talking and stuff, I think what it was I told her I was married too. So much, because I always tell the women out here I'm married. So once I said that was like, no way. And then once I said that, then there was nothing else to say, like I said. And then well, why did you talk to me? Now, let's say had I would have, been not competent. Because I don't like the word, when you pick up women, you don't need confidence. And confidence is a belief without any proof. So basically you're just guessing that you can do it, But competence is better, So had I been one of those guys that's full of confidence, I would say, oh, because you're beautiful, and blah, 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 and I like this, and I like Japanese style and Japanese culture, and blah, 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 and I just want to meet me a cute Japanese woman, and blah, blah. And I would have said something like that. She'd been looking like, motherfucker, please. You know what I'm saying? So, but, I guess she was thinking it, because she probably thought that I was not on her level. Now, my friend, he was, of course, younger than me. He was shorter than both of us, but he, on the scale of 1 to 10, maybe some women probably would have thought he was more attractive than I was, because I'm older. But this was like a few years ago, so I still looked young, but not as young as him. Was no way I would look younger than he was. He did. But I could have, went the sorry way, and then maybe if we would have gotten together, and maybe had I not said I was married, or it don't even, marriage out here don't even matter, but had I did that, then she probably would have been like, oh, okay, let me talk to him and, get him psychologically enslave me, and then, get what she want to get out of me, and that could have went that way, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, I already know the game. I read the rules. I learned from my mama. That's why I said my videos, if you want to know about a woman, you better look at your mama, because everything you need to know about a woman, your mama is the perfect example. Okay. And so I could have gotten caught up in that, but I didn't. And because of what she said, why you talking to me? Just like, huh? To me, why am I talking to you? You looking at me? Why are you looking at me? That's the thing. Why are you looking at me? And so that was it. But it was cool. Like I said, we still talked once after that, and she was just busy, and that was it. But basically, I don't want to get off track, but I'll say this real quick. Basically, I guess she thought that I was one of those. I was a tool that she can use, basically, and it wasn't happening, because a lot of times when a woman, especially if she looks good, she'll snap on a guy, then he'll snap to attention, but when they snap at me, I'm like, okay, so what was the response that you wanted me to do? You snapping at me? Okay, like I'm not, it's like the you have those cartoons. I forgot what it was, but where the Boondocks or something. I'm not sure, but it was this one scene where it was this one black guy, and he was in a suit, and it was a white guy, and something happened, and I guess they got into it, and then the black guy got into the end mood or something like that, and changed and whatever, and I'm sure you guys know that, y'all seen this, and he started going off on a white guy, and then the white guy stopped and thought and said, you know what, I'm not black, I don't have to react to that, or something like that. And I think they actually said that, and then walked away. It's like, okay, you go ahead and get into your own wood. I ain't gotta, just because you get upset don't mean I need to join into it. I got better things to do. And it was kind of funny. So that's how it is out here, or when you if you use that to get a woman, or out here, that's what they do. the women, they'll go off on you, and then the guys, they'll like snap to attention. But me, they go off on me. I'm like, okay, depending on, you know, what attachments there are, it's like, okay, so you're getting upset, don't mean I've got to get upset, you know. And I'll tell you, this is one lady, you know, I used to date, and she was always just complaining and just talking bad, but she always just bought me presents, and when I needed favors, she did them, you know. And so that's why I just hung out with her. The talking and stuff, it was irritating, but no one can talk about me no worse than my brother did. You know what I'm saying? All my life, all them jokes and all the things he said, I'm like, you know, listen to her talk was like listen to a baby whining versus, you know, listen to your parents, you know, scolding you and stuff like that. So it was interesting. But yeah, when you talk to a woman and you're using those kind of avenues to get to them, a lot of times they're going to backfire, you know. And like some guys say, well, long as I just went in so I can get what I wanted and that was it and I bounced. Yeah, okay, sure, you got that, but you never took the time to really know the lady. You never really took the time to really understand her. And I have an example. I had a friend, and I'm thinking he was one guy, but I wonder, I got a call. No, I'm thinking it wasn't him. It shouldn't have been him. It was one brother came out here and lived out here, and he ended up dating some woman, and some Japanese woman. She was kind of big and stuff, and I think he was complaining about her or something like that. And I just told him, I said, well, why don't you just, you know, if you don't like the way she looked, just tell her to get in shape, tell her to go back to school, and tell her what to study, and she'll do it. And he didn't believe that it would work. I said, no, you do it. It's no difference than you in the States, you know. Or my videos, like I was with one of my friends, he was like, wow, it's just incredible how you, you know, you got these brothers to go to college. You know, you just tell everybody to go to college, and you put a pretty face up there, and all these kids started doing better in school, going to college, getting degrees and stuff. He said that's incredible. You just put a pretty face on the message, and it just made these guys just totally become different people. And that's what I told her. I said, you know, you have the ability to make her become a total different person. So what happened was she did go to school. She got that knowledge. She got in shape, you know, started respecting herself. Especially when you go to school, you get to learn about, you know, psychology and different things, social skills, whatever. And she got to realizing that the state that she was in when he met her was a vulnerable state, you know, because of the way she looked down upon herself. And then once she got that knowledge and she started getting in shape and started changing, then her attitudes towards him started changing. And I think, you know, a lot of fights or something happened, and eventually they broke up. But she ended up getting the best out of the deal because, you know, she got her education. She was able to make more money instead of working at the Lawson's or whatever, you know. And so that's what I'm saying about the when you use those negative ideologies or whatever to pick up on a woman, because had he was truly interested in her, and this guy he was a little short, but he was yoked, you know, he was not ugly at all. You know, there are a lot of women out here that's shorter than him, that's in good shape, they're very beautiful, and he lives right out in the heart of Osaka. And well, that's where she stayed. That's where he said he bought a condominium or something out there. And you know, she I mean, he walks out right there, and there are a lot of women over there, beautiful women over there. So why he was with her? Maybe because of his low self-esteem, that he probably couldn't get a better woman. So since she was out of shape, he felt that, hey, you know, she got to be with me because I'm the only one that's going to talk to her, which could have been the case. But the whole thing was that he didn't get to take the time to know her, because had I not told him to tell her to do better and everything, because he was complaining, he didn't want to be with her, I think, but he couldn't leave her because probably he knew he couldn't get anyone else because of the way he thought about himself. And I guess she was with him, but there was no improvement in the relationship as far as she was concerned. But the improvement that she wanted in a relationship wasn't the relationship itself. She was thinking maybe the relationship would have improved, made some kind of changes on her self-improvement. So, but because her image of herself was not so good, plus he was handsome, and she knew it. And so when he was out, she probably thought, he was out messing with other women, because he was telling me they got into a lot of fights about that stuff, which of course, a lot of women will look at him, even if it wasn't because if he was handsome or not, because he was just had a lot of muscles on him and stuff like that. So then I told him, hey, this is what you need to do. Then he did it, and it was unfortunate that he didn't get to know her personally the way he should have, and then as she started getting out there and started doing better and getting better, she just started moving up the chain, and they end up breaking up, And I tell a lot of guys that, you come out here and you meet a lot of these women out here, and they might be beautiful, but they might not be doing anything. That you really need to, if you're going to help them, fine, but make sure you set it up so that when y'all break up, you'll still have some stuff. You know what I'm saying? You'll still have something, because once they understand, that's it. Everything just moves like the river. Just, and if you're not buckled in, you're gonna get left behind. So it's just interesting. So these are like examples. Even in the States, you get a lot of guys who I was saying, I said it a long time ago, but when I was in LA, I went to this it was this basketball court. Oh, where was it? I hardly ever went there. And it was funny because it could have been it wasn't junior high school, maybe elementary school, or not a private school, but something like that. And everyone had to climb over the fence. It was a high fence too. Where I'm thinking it was between somewhere in the Westwood area, between what's that street? Maybe Wilshire Boulevard? No, Santa Monica, and what's that? Gailey or something like that? I forgot. Or it could have been near the Beverly Hills area. Anyway, it was somewhere around there, Westwood, Beverly Hills area, but a little towards Santa Monica or something like that, but I forgot exactly where. So anyway, I'm over there, we playing basketball, and I'm not, I just learned playing in the streets and stuff, and I was pretty good. And community guy was sitting down, his light-skinned brother, and he seemed like the type of guy that could just get any woman he wanted, And so we were talking and stuff, and he started talking about relationships to me, and I'm like, huh? Because this guy was older than I was, and I'm like, why is he talking about this? And then he would start talking about his girlfriend and stuff, how beautiful she was, but it was just something about her that he just couldn't understand, or he didn't get a grasp on. And then I think he was still going out and stuff, and he was maybe messing around or something like that, because at that time everybody was messing around. And then he said something to me that I thought was a little weird. He was like, I love my girl, but this and that, but I'll never leave her, but I love her and stuff, but this and that and all this stuff. And I'm like, do you really love her? He said, yeah. I said, no, the way you talking, I don't really think you do. And he was like, why you saying that? You don't know me. I think I was 30, so he probably was like 35 or something. And I said, no. I said, because you love your girl, right? He said, yeah. I said, okay, if she got an accident and her face got messed up, and she got a scar on it, would you still love her? The dude had to sit there for like 3-4 minutes to think about it. And I said, see, you don't love her, so maybe that's why you're having these problems, because your attachment to her is her face. And I said, that's not good. I said, you're better off just leaving her, and we started talking about that, and basically, I just came out and I told him, I said, when you probably met her, you could have met her in a club, at your work, or wherever y'all met, and it was more or less a game for you, the challenge, and you won, and the challenge was to get her, and whatever you got her, but it could have been like the sex or the kissing or just being in her presence overshadowed and put in the back room why you really, the real reason why you went after her. You just went after her and just to be with her for a week or two and then dump her and move on. But it was just maybe because, and I know what it was, she was just beautiful, okay? And I wanted to tell him, I didn't say it in that way, but the point was that, the way he described her, she was really beautiful. I don't think she was black, so she probably was a white woman, or mixed or something like that, but she was really beautiful. She was really intelligent. She was really nice, and she was a good girl. But he was one of those playboy types that was like, well, I'm gonna go after these beautiful women. I'm gonna tear them down and make them nothing, and then be with them and keep them in that low position, And we talked about that, and basically that's what it was, And what we talked about, I didn't come straight out like I'm saying now, but in a roundabout way, because I didn't want to, because he looked like he was a little on the oh, I gotta put gas in this car. Wow, do I have enough to make it home? Maybe. Giddy. Okay, let's see. I only got 21 kilometers left. If you guys can see that. Worth of gas. I don't think I'm that far away. But I could be. But anyway, I got to put $10 in the car. But so basically what happened was, we talked and stuff, and I told him that was his problem. I said, because I said, just because she get a scar on her face, she's still that same woman that you love. But your value, you put the value that you put in her was based on her looks and not on her as a person. And because of that, then, oh my God, because of that, then that image is fading. And I said, and I'm sure you're out there messing with some other women, but guess what? I know for a fact that all the women out there you mess with don't look nowhere as beautiful as she does. And he was like, how do you know that? And I said, come on, I know the game, And I told him, I said, because you got something good that you didn't think you can get, and then you got her, but you don't appreciate it, but you chasing after these women that you know you can get, or they should be with you because of their lower, what's that? Aesthetics or something like that. My vocabulary is slipping. Well, actually, it did come to me, then it slipped real quick. But their beauty, the way they look, So you're saying like, oh, well, she's a 4, I'm an 8, so she definitely can't turn me down. So then you going after them, and you smashing a whole bunch of them right now. But the ones that are your that's at your level, or maybe a little bit above your level, because you probably think you probably don't know what your real level is, then you think it's going to be hard to get with them because you didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have that competence there. But you had the competence. You knew that the ones that were below you would be with you because you were a handsome person. And so he was like, wow, I can't believe you even saying that, you're right, and this and that, because we sat and talked for like maybe an hour and a half after everybody else had left, And I wanted to leave too, but I didn't want to leave him stranded. But it was really interesting. So he said, well, what should I do? And I'm like, listen, you with a beautiful woman, just learn to love her. That's it. You got to understand who she is and love her, because what's wrong with your relationship? There's nothing. Wait, let me, okay, so I put some gas. So basically when we finished talking and stuff, we talked and stuff, and basically what his problem was that he actually went after her, wanting her, but instead of just being natural, he used that ideology that if she's beautiful, break her down, to make her feel like she's nothing, and then you can get with her. And she probably liked him, genuinely, and he treated her bad, and she probably couldn't understand it, but she probably dealt with it because all of us have been talked about, abused, verbally abused, but yeah, we had to deal with it in, of course, the number one places in our own homes, and I guess they did have some happy times, you know, or whatever. But that's how can I say? She just, you know, just dealt with it, you know, because she was with someone, you know, and she was beautiful. He wasn't a handsome guy, you know. But instead of realizing the reality that was there, his whole relationship was based on some images or some junk that, you know, he heard in the streets. And when we finished talking, you know, he was like, "Wow, you're right, you know, let me go on and change this and stuff." I said, "Yeah, you really need to you know, change this stuff in your life, because if you mess around and you know, like he said, when he said he didn't love her, I asked him why, you know, and it was basically because it wasn't that he didn't love her. I mean, of course he liked her and maybe loved her, but the appreciation of her, you know, that he should have had for her, he didn't have, and he wasn't able to do that based on the fact that he was with her, or his he got with her based on a false premise, and that false premise was there to keep him. I mean, he just kept the relationship together based on that false premise, and a lot of us do that. And so, you guys, you know, the first thing which you have to understand is, you really like that Korean guy. You know, it was interesting because of the argument we got into. It wasn't an argument, but you know, the conversation we got into was all about how can I say, dating and stuff like that. And let's see, can I slip in? Wow, it's like so crowded over here. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, let me go back. Not go back, but a lot of guys what a lot of people need to do, basically, I totally forgot what I was talking about, is that people need to really, the Korean guy. Okay, so what he was saying was, and another friend, he was, I was talking to the guy with the Hakuin Inspirations, his video I was watching. Me and him was talking, he brought it up too. He was saying, like, looks is number one thing that you need in a relationship, you know. And so the Korean guy was saying the same thing. You know, he said, I made a mistake. It was all about looks. It's all about looks. But no, it's not about looks. Of course, it has to be looks because, you know, we are visual people. But also we are vibrant. We are emotional. We have other things too. You know, we have understanding, you know, compassion or whatever. So we're not just only visual, you know. And plus what you're looking at, you know, you only see the surface of it. But there's more to it than just, I'm driving a car. No, this car has all these different parts. You know, a lot of people work their butts off to make this steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? So that they can feed their family. You know, somebody spent many hours designing this button versus the power volume button so that they can, you know, provide for their family or get lunch or make sure they can, you know, save some money for retirement, you know, so they don't be living on the streets and stuff like that. So there's a lot into it. And the Korean guy, you know, my friend, they're talking about looks. And of course, looks are important, yes, but it's not the number one thing. It's not the number one thing that you need, okay? Because it doesn't matter whether you look good or you don't look good. It don't matter, because you're still getting a lot of attention. When you walk out in that street, when you're out in them streets, when you're out in that road, when you're out in those roads, people will look at you. You are getting so much attention that you don't even know how much attention you're getting. People driving down the street in cars, like sometimes you'll walk down the street and somebody will honk at you. You know, well, that person is giving you attention. What kind of attention do you want? So what he was saying, it was a visual thing. My other friend said it was a visual thing. Of course, it's a visual thing, but it's not the most important thing you need, because if you're living in a world where beauty is scorned upon, and unattractiveness is what you go for, because it's easier to obtain because of they're because they're taught that their unbeautiness, I guess, if you want to, or unattractiveness. I'm trying to get funny with the unbeautiness, but their unattractiveness is putting them in this social status where they are never going to win. So whatever they can get out of it, do it. You know, if a guy comes to you, listen, if you're a woman and you don't look good, you know, you can forget about getting a handsome guy. Forget it. You know, if you want kids, then you better get with the first guy to come at you, because if they don't come at you, you're gonna be lonely for the rest of your life. You're never gonna have kids, and blah blah blah. And then if you do go out, you're gonna have to buy drinks for other guys. You're gonna have to do that because no one's gonna want to be with you. You know, so that's the kind of society we live in. You know, and that's all false. You know, that is all false, because now I think I watched this video or something that was talking about how people who have symmetry, facial symmetry. So if your face is not, both sides of the face are not the same, then it's more beautiful than if they both were the same. But of course, both sides are not going to be the same, because that means you have two. That means both sides of your face will be a right side, you know, or the left side, you know. So it's kind of funny. But the video or something I saw, the way they described it was kind of funny. But it's not about the beauty or anything like that, you know. It's all about your conversation and what you're doing, because, like I said, I put on my, I think I put on my Facebook, and I definitely put on my line, that a penis and a vagina do not discriminate. People do. When a penis, it don't matter if the guy is fat or ugly, or she's fat or ugly or beautiful, whatever. Once a penis and a vagina connects, they're going to automatically do what they're going to do. And all those feelings that you get, whether you're with a person that's beautiful or not beautiful, the same feelings are going to come. And then it depends on the firmness of the penis and vagina. Gotta even make it even more fun, you know. And if you get with a woman and she's not attractive, but she got a nice body, or her vagina is on point, then these guys are going to be with her because of the sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? And they might love it, and they might love her, and they might appreciate her, you know, for that. You know what I'm saying? You might get someone, you know, it goes both sides, you know. You get someone that's beautiful, but, you know, they don't know what they're doing, you know. Or you get someone that's not beautiful and she don't know what she's doing, but someone who is beautiful know what she's doing, you know, or whatever. Or, you know, the girl's the same thing, you know. So I'm telling you, I'm just saying, when you go out, you don't need any of that stuff. You really don't. You know, a simple hi is all you need. Just walk up and say, hey, how you doing? You know, the best women to talk to are the ones who look at you. If you catch them staring at you, then that means they're looking at you for more than 5 seconds, 10 seconds, more than 5 seconds. If a woman looks at you for more than 5 seconds, that means she took that much time, because 5 seconds, you know, it's a long time. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, got a phone call. So basically what he was saying, the Korean guy, yeah, he's right. Looks does matter. It really does. But it's not number one. It's number two. The number thing that matter is your vocabulary, your words. Okay? I got this saying, and I put it on my Facebook, is that, well, I don't know if I should say it, but your words are very, very, very important. Okay? Very important. You can create beauty with words. A woman who is not attractive, she can just speak these wonderful words and it'll make her attractive. A guy too. A woman that's beautiful, a guy that's handsome, or whatever. You know, so the number one thing is not your looks. It has nothing to do with your looks. And I've said it before in my other videos a long time ago, is that when you speak to a woman, all you have to do is say hi. And if you want that conversation to continue, then you have to be able to respond correctly to anything that she says to convince her to continue the conversation, and that's it. Like, so when the one lady that I was talking to, she was like, "Why did you talk to me?" And then I said, "Because you were staring at me." And she couldn't respond to that. She really couldn't respond to it. But I already knew because of her attitude that she just didn't, there was no interest there, no interest in me, which was fine. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. No problem. You know what I'm saying? That's life. But when I said that, it was like, and I tell you, I waited there and I didn't say anything. And she said, "Okay, well, I got to go." I said, "Okay, you have a good time," and that was it. And my friend, he was kind of surprised that it happened like that, because I guess I'm not sure if I think he was probably expecting me to break down, definitely she was expecting me to break down when she asked me, why did I speak to her? What am I supposed to say? Oh, because I thought you was beautiful, or I wanted to get with you, or this or that? No. I didn't. When I saw her, when she was coming from far, I checked her out and I said, okay, she's nice and everything, but this is Japan. I already know how a lot of these women are. You know what I'm saying? So even when you go up and talk to them, you know what I'm saying, you already opened up a can of worms. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of really difficult. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is not all, but it's just, where are you going to meet them? So if you're on the streets, but we all have our can of worms, so it's not just them. But out here though, it's really intense. It's like on a really different, higher level than it is in the States. And so I was like, okay, cool, fine. And she said, fine, that was it. And when I called her, like I said, she did answer. We did talk, but she said she was studying a lot. She lived out in Nishinomiya, which is supposed to be known for having a lot of beautiful women out there, and she was beautiful. And I think it's a nice area. Might be some money out there, I'm not sure, but around the surrounding areas, whatever. But yeah, I was like, okay, cool. So that was it. So the whole thing of all I'm trying to say is just that, don't use those. If you're someone you like, don't go after someone for a negative reason. Oh, well, she's not attractive, so I can get her, so I'm gonna go for it. Why would you want to be with someone attractive? Oh, well, she's beautiful, too beautiful for me, so I'm not gonna go for it. Why don't you why wouldn't you want to go after something that is beautiful, something that's nice? That's like you going to school, getting a degree just so you can work in well, it's no bad job, so just so you can become a bum on the street. You know what I'm saying? But if that's what you want to do, it's fine. Whatever you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anyone, not hurting yourself, it's fine. it really is fine, because everyone don't want the same things. But don't how can I say, I'm sure that's a word, I can't think of it, but don't use the negativity aspects that we hear to try to do something positive. So it's not going to work, because a lot of times guys get because like I said, words are important, because you mess around with someone and they start flipping and flopping those words at you, and if you don't understand and don't know how to deflect that stuff, those flipping and flop words are going to start registering in your head, and you're going to be flipping and flopping, and by the time you understand or you get a break or you realize what happened, you're all messed up. You know what I'm saying? So looks are great, but words trumps them all. So if you see a woman out there and you like her, you want to be with her, you just got to say the right words. And it's not even about walking up to them saying you're beautiful, because a lot of these women already know what they look like. Now, it's okay to say it, you know what I'm saying, but don't say you're beautiful just so you should go, oh, really? Well, okay, let's go to dinner, because a lot of times it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So if you want her to go to dinner, just walk over and say, hey, let's go to dinner. And she might, well, why should I go with dinner with you? And then whatever answer you want to use, I just, want to go to dinner with you. Some women will, some women won't, and so that's about it. The pickup game, I think where it loses effect is a lot of people, they think it's a game, and they're trying to get a goal. The pickup game is a game that you're playing because you're playing different moves. But at the end of the game, it's over. But you don't want it to be over. A lot of guys want it to continue. So when you're out there and you're talking to women, don't do it as a game. Do it as like a career. Make it a career. If you get one woman, and if y'all just friends, because a lot of friends, they have a lot of consensual physical activities, and you can have a whole bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? And not all of them are going to want you, but all of them might want to be with you. People do different things. I mean, like it's this one lady I was used to hang out with. She called me her boyfriend or whatever, but no sex. I'm not so much talking. I mean, touching. Absolutely, like no kissing, nothing. But we met. We go out. She buy me dinner, whatever. We just talk. I listen pretty much. And for me, it was more or less like, just being an ear for her. But I was getting my rewards. You know what I'm saying? So it was just interesting. So you don't need, like I said, you don't need to go after them, with that negative Western philosophy that they have, that you break down a beautiful woman and you go after a woman who's not beautiful because she has no other choice. No, it doesn't work like that, I mean, it works like that because people participate and they feel like that's the way it goes, but that's not how it is. Just walk up and talk, because I'm going to tell you, these women, their bodies hardly ever change. If they're in shape, you know what I'm saying? If they're in shape, like these Japanese women bodies, the ones that are like in their 40s and 50s and 60s, their bodies are just, if they keep in shape, just as beautiful as the ones in their 20s. Just as nice. You know what I'm saying? But they got more experience. They might not look good, but they have some nice bodies, and it's just really interesting. Like, wow, and because I didn't date a lot when I was in California. Well, I did when I was young, but after I turned 30, all my datings was in Japan. I came out here at 31 when I was in Hawaii. I think I was like 30, out there for like 2 years or whatever, and I think I only dated one woman. I'm married. I was out there for 9 months, no sex, nothing, because I wanted to leave. I ended up with my first wife, and then some other girl, and that was it. And after that, all my other relationships were just with Asian women, primarily Japanese women, but a couple of Koreans, a couple of Chinese, Thai, and other women and stuff. So, but it's all the same, and the whole thing though is, because a lot of people don't think I'm handsome, but I know I'm handsome. I ain't worried about that. But I've been with some beautiful, I mean, from all of the scales, because ugly, it don't really matter, because when you touch a woman's skin, if you got good skin or whatever, it's just really cool and stuff. But I've just been fortunate enough to wait, let me see if I can do that. Can I do that? It's all upside down and stuff. I've been fortunate enough. Sorry about that. But I've been fortunate enough to been with some very beautiful women. But like I said, most of the women who I've been with, they came to me, So I'm looking at myself. Well, I'm older now. This is when I was younger. But when I was young, I was handsome, and even if people say I wasn't handsome, because women, I think the lowest I was put on was a 6. But a lot of women 7s, 8s, some 9s. It just depends, But me, my scale is I'm everything, So it's interesting though. But I've been fortunate. But like I said, for me, um, I always say in my videos that when I like to chase women, but my pickup game is no good. That's a lie. My pickup game is good. No, I wouldn't say game, but yeah, I just use it. My pickup game is good because I know how to talk, but I know that just depending on the situation, the timing, that there are going to be some bad timings. Because I can come up say the perfect line, but if she got to be at work in 15 minutes, nothing's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Or if she got to get off at the next stop or whatever, so you got them kids just went through the red light, didn't even stop. No one stops out here. But anyway, actually that's not a red light. They don't have to stop. But anyway, yeah, the pickup game and stuff. Don't tear a beautiful woman down, and don't go after a woman who's not, quote unquote, what society says is not beautiful, unattractive, or whatever. Because you're her only option. The only thing that makes her less attractive, in reality, is just the image that you have of her. It really is. And people, well, we all do discriminate. We have a prejudice when it comes to looks. We all discriminate when it comes to looks and stuff like that. So that's just how we are. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the nicest people in the world are the ones who stop and give you 2 seconds of attention. And that's it. So you guys out there want to get the game and stuff and chase women, you can't get women. Well, maybe you're looking in the wrong places. And or maybe it's just a sign that, hey, you should be doing something better. Or if it's in the country, like I said, sometimes you just might be living in the country where you just can't do it. And so the only thing you can do is create a business or whatever and move to another place, where you have more freedoms. So, but anyway, I'm done. I'm at my school. I know this is long. I'm trying to make my videos a little shorter now, back to 10 minutes and stuff. So anyway, I'm done with this.